It is 6:14. You're watching Wake Up Northwest. In this week's Madeline Motivates, gyms are now back open, but finding the motivation to work out can be hard to come by. A local fitness trainer says you need to take small steps with your fitness routine to get back to where you were before quarantine. Tate Andrews, trainer and group fitness instructor at Gold's Gym, is on the phone with us right now. Good morning, Tate.
Good morning, Madeline. Good to see you this morning. Thank you for having me.
Well, absolutely. I got to say, just by looking at your smile that we're showing here on your screen, that is motivating in itself. You have a very contagious smile.
Thank you.
All right, Tate. Well, you say going back to the gym after quarantine can bring on what you call demotivation. What do you mean by that?
Well, demotivation is really easy. Every one of us goes back to the gym with all good intentions. We want to better ourselves. We want to recapture our fitness or whatever. But there's certain things that can happen when we go back to the gym that can, set us back a few steps, if you will. One of the main things that we want to do when we do start going back is we want to start setting small, realistic, short-term goals at first. We don't want to do too much too soon. If you come back to the gym and go gung-ho at the very first week, you might put your body into a kind of a shock mode where you're going to be so sore that you won't want to come back for a week or two. Right. So we don't want to do too much too soon. A lot of times, too, you really, it's difficult when you come to the gym because it kind of can be an intimidating place if you don't really know what you're doing with the machines and those kinds of things. So I always like to recommend that, get a little sense of community, grab a friend, if you will. Now, with the current protocols that we have at the gyms, let's face it, the gyms are probably the cleanest public spaces we have right now. It's a great place to meet up with friends that you haven't seen in a long time, and it's a great way to hold each other accountable, and that'll keep you motivated as well if you see your friends doing really good too.
So you mentioned taking baby steps to ease back into that workout routine. Pretty quickly, what does that process look like?
Well, I always recommend taking really small steps when coming back to the gym. Probably give yourself permission to not be at your full peak output for about 3 weeks. First week, I always like to recommend that we focus on full range of motion, get your body used to doing movement again after a long break. Usually on the second week, the soreness has worn off, and you can probably go about half output of what you were used to if you were a gym goer in the past. And by that time, you'll start seeing a little bit of incremental results, which are motivating in and of themselves. And then by week 3, you can kind of get back to normal. So if we can ease into it, we'll avoid that shock, and it'll kind of sustain your results over a longer period of time.
All right, Tate, what's one word of advice you have for somebody to get through those 3 to 4 weeks to get back to normal?
The main thing is be consistent. Don't worry about how far you can go. Don't worry about how much you can lift. Just worry about being consistent. At the end of the day, it's a 52-week year, and if you read the data, you only have to exercise on the days that you plan to eat.
I love that. That's very true. All right. Well, thank you so much for inspiring us to get after it this morning, Tate. We appreciate it. And hang in there. Don't give up just yet, because pretty soon you'll be even stronger than you used to be.